This video is going to ruffle some feathers, so I encourage you to buckle up and let's make it to the end of the video together. Because if you do, you'll be rewarded with having the knowledge to potentially save thousands of dollars on where not to go on your next vacation. On my end, it's another day of travel, another hotel. So putting together this travel video just naturally came to mind as part of our series on the top 5 most overrated clothing brands, car brands, vacation spots, and so on and so forth. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Pam Matani. I am a business lawyer and entrepreneur by trade. I'm somebody that had to build myself up from literal nothingness. So this channel is where I share my personal life in terms of intersecting the luxuries I experience with that deeper conversation of, are these things really worth it? The first overrated luxury travel destination. Let me know if this one surprises you. Dubai. Why? Oh my God. Now Dubai, we've shared content on Dubai before. I've lived in Dubai for months at a time because my law firm is mine. I can work from wherever in the world I'd like. And Dubai is the kind of place that, yes, you are going to objectively have the world's biggest building, the world's biggest crocodile farm, the world's biggest XYZ, insert here. But what does that have to do with quality of life, quality of enjoyment? I found Dubai as a place to live, as a place to be a human being, and a woman especially, to be a very hard place to exist in. So if you're a woman, if you have a woman in your life, if you have a daughter you're traveling with, you're going to need to be really mindful of life in Dubai. That's part of what makes it overrated, is that half of us can't even enjoy it. If you are like LGBTQIA+, you're going to be careful there too, okay? So if so many of us can't even enjoy a certain space or can't even feel our most safe there, despite, yes, I know the publicly shared statistics on safety in Dubai. Now, other things that make Dubai overrated. Dubai is genuinely really expensive. Like for my family and I, it would be hard to get out of the hotel room and not spend 1,000 to 2,000 dirhams for the day. When we went there, that was translated to about a third in Canadian dollars. So it meant my average day, like my average modest day, non-major activity day, was costing between $300 to $600 in the currency of a year or two ago when we went. So it's really expensive. So to enjoy it, you know, you shouldn't need that much money to enjoy yourself for the day in a city. That's reason 2, it's overrated for me. And reason 3 are the people. So Dubai has an open doors policy, or close to it, when it comes to attracting, you know, workers from all around the world. But in turn, it doesn't really reward them with much else other than the tax-free income. I met people in Dubai because I talked to people, get to know people. There were people, you know, from India, 7 people sharing a bedroom just to make ends meet. People from the Philippines, 4 people sharing a bedroom just to make ends meet. Human beings on this planet should not have to live like that. I don't mean sharing a 1-bedroom apartment. I mean sharing a 1-bedroom within an apartment. The other rooms also had 4 to 7 people in them. So that is going to play out in terms of those everyday customer service engagements. They can be really hard to manage. People, if you scratch slightly beneath the surface, a lot of the working class are really miserable in Dubai. First of all, why would I promote that as a human being around, you know, condoning more of that by spending my money there? And second of all, on the other side of human being, as somebody that's working hard for their money and trying to treat their family, it can make certain experiences genuinely unenjoyable because everyone I'm paying around me is miserable, and I don't blame them. Travel destination number 2. Destination number 2 is going to be a mix of like the Greek Santorini and Mykonos situation. Now, when we think of this stuff, we're thinking of like the white buildings with the blue roofs. That's a lot of what people think about. You'd be surprised, not just me, but like how many lawyers and doctors and people like that in my circles, business owners, come back and they're like, there were no blue buildings. Everything was kind of just gray. And so first of all, not to pop your bubble, but you're not literally walking into a picture, just in case you need that disclaimer. Second of all, the treatment there with the groups I've traveled with, racism was definitely something that was experienced. Trying to be taken advantage of for being a tourist was definitely something that was experienced. People speaking like in Greek, which yes is their language, I'm not judging them for that, but you can tell when somebody's saying something versus when they're saying like, you know, F these people, like try to, you know, scam them, try to write up the bill, try to write up the taxi meter, things like like that. So I did not find those. Again, even if they were the most beautiful places on earth, Santorini and Mykonos, if you are then being treated as like less than, it will automatically pop your bubble. But on top of it, I genuinely did not find them to be the most beautiful places on earth. Completely overrated. There are plenty of other places in that region you can go to see for beaches and culture and beauty: Albania, Turkey, so on, so forth. Location number 3. I think this is going to surprise a lot of you. As somebody that comes from a third world country myself and then later grew up in Canada, I am aware of people's perceptions, you know, like racist or discriminatory founded perceptions that go into a statement like Donald Trump made a few years ago, that there are countries and then there are shithole countries, right? So I'm aware that the world has its like own internal classification of places around the world. And the place I'm about to share, nobody would ever put in the category of a shithole country. However, it is a very, very overrated travel destination for me, and that place is Zurich, Switzerland. Why? This is like first class healthcare, first class amenities, first class this and that. I'm gonna put this on the list of overrated for the purpose of price alone. When I traveled, how do I put this eloquently, in my poorer days to Switzerland, so that of course impacted my experience, but you shouldn't have to be wealthy to go to another country that other fellow humans live in. Switzerland, to this day, because I haven't been back since my traumatizing poorer days, Switzerland to this day is the one country I have traveled to, and at the time I was not able to afford a meal at a restaurant. So I made some scraps out of like bread at the grocery store, and I think maybe some cheese at the time, something like that. To me, it's not a human right to eat at a restaurant, right? Like, we're not going to go that far, but it is such a crushing of the soul. Why have you not figured out how to feed people? I know things in Switzerland are expensive, but things are expensive everywhere around the world. Why have you not figured out how to provide, as an infrastructure, as a government, like affordable places for your people to eat? And what I'm saying is not just a conversation for the poor versus rich tourist. What I'm saying, I mean, think about global patterns in the world, people getting older, people not knowing how to cook, people this and that. People are going to need food one day that will have nothing to do with coming from the grocery store, because they won't be able to convert that grocery store food into food at home. So they will need cooked food for them. And you haven't figured out how to provide a hot meal for your people in an affordable way. I'm not saying throw caviar on the affordable menu, but there were no affordable places in town. When I was there years ago, I must have been to like 30 restaurants, you know, looking at the menu outside. I could not. If we can't afford food somewhere, it's gonna make my list of overrated. My 4th most overrated travel destination in the world. And again, this one might be surprising because millions of people go here every year. My 4th most overrated travel spot on earth is Las Vegas. So why is it overrated? Why is this making my list as somebody that's traveled to like, I'm approaching 100 countries in the world. Yes, people have been to more, but many of these countries I've been to over and over and over again. So why does this make my list? First of all, it's in a country where anyone can shoot somebody at any time. So we're gonna wanna zoom out on that one and think things through. Second of all, you are paying for like the most surface level of entertainments possible, which yes, could have like a momentary joyful or placebo effect on somebody in terms of seeing your favorite celebrity perform or seeing this and that. But in the long haul, like seeing a world miracle, or miracles of the world, right? Wonder of the world, that's what they're called. Seeing a world wonder versus like seeing somebody in like spandex singing on stage, well, not singing, moving their lips to the sound of a song on stage. The kind of experience you are going to have in Vegas is a very different experience than the one that I believe is genuinely good for you as a human being, genuinely good for you for the soul. So just that level of shallowness and vainness that's going along, kind of like with the Dubai culture of like, you know, duck lips and all the photos and that situation. Las Vegas is like its own mini version of that. Who needs that? Like, people need peace. They need to feel good about who they are. They need to be healthy. They need to be this and that. And Las Vegas doesn't promote any of those things. So that's the reason it makes its way up onto number 4 of my list of overrated luxury travel destinations in the world. Number 5 is going to be one that I have to say I'm a little nervous rounding off this list with, because this is the only one on the list where I'm about to go here in a few weeks. But I'm going to tell you why I'm putting it on the list and what I did to guard against these worries. And that is Bali. From what I have heard, there is a very distinct difference between what is shared as being like the classic temples and pictures of Bali and what actually is the case, which is overcrowding. So overrated reason number one, lots of garbage everywhere, overrated reason number two. And for me, like basic health and safety, like Bali is endemic with rabies. So far my family and I, to go there alone, have already, like I'm already $6,000 deep in rabies vaccines, which God forbid if something were to happen there, we still need more rabies vaccines. Now I want to note here, so remember I said like there's ways to hedge the bets. So first of all, you can stay in like certain places in Bali versus other places that are going to hedge your bets. Unfortunately, a lot of time those distinctions come with money, like spending more money. Also, you can go to Indonesia and just spend like a day or two in Bali and go somewhere else. There are provinces in Indonesia that declare themselves, and the World Health Organization has declared them rabies free. East Java, Central Java are going to be some of those provinces, because Bali or Indonesia is kind of like island by island by island. So just because one island has rabies doesn't mean they're all going to have it. So in terms of needing to constantly worry about your health in Bali, needing to constantly be overcrowded by people. Now remember, if you watch my video here on how I've saved at least $250,000 in luxury travel in the last 5 years from my like tips and tricks, you're going to know that I said in that video, part of what I said is I travel, to be honest, I travel on my own cycles as an entrepreneur, and we travel all the time. But it just so happens that that overlaps a lot with non-popular seasons, right? So we're going to Bali in a few weeks, and there is nothing special going on in the world in October. Kids are in school for those that take their kids to school. People are working for those that have the conventional employment situation, like 9-to-5 employment situation, and so on and so forth. It's not a summer vacation. It's not a winter vacation. It's not a March break for all the college kids. So that's going to help me with the crowding, which is going to help me be able to ascertain the setting around me a little better. Spending less time in Bali and more time in the other rabies-free provinces is going to help me as well, and so on and so forth. Like there are things you could do. This last tip is one that I'm aware, as somebody that used to be like cost conscious, is like a euphemism we don't even need to use. Dirt broke is the expression. I'm aware that this last one just needs a lot of money, but you know, booking like a whole estate to myself means that I'm not as tempted to leave. I can do things in my own home. I have my own gym, my own pool, my own chef, my own this, my own that. So I'm not as tempted to go out for a meal, to go out for physical exercise, to go out for a swim, things like that. That of course is going to hedge your bets of bad stuff happening. If you can think of something I haven't mentioned, or you've had your own sour little experience somewhere that I didn't mention, please comment down below so we can all benefit from each other. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, click subscribe. I know it's crazy, but I'm trying to make it to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year on YouTube. And the only reason I feel good about saying that is because the growth in recent months has been a lot. And I want to thank you guys for that. I can't grow this channel by watching my own videos on repeat. You're the special sauce. So thank you for growing and learning together.